Hey, all, welcome to my channel. Sorry about that. I've been having a little bit of issues here and there. Today I'm going to be talking about Only Murders in the Building, basically. If you've on Hulu, if you don't have Hulu, uh, I don't know how to say you should get it, but you can still probably watch the shows out of news groups or whatnot. I don't know, or other ways means. If you've watched season one and season two, Only Murders in the Building has started with season three. Um, it's to say the least a little bit different from season one and season two. Put it that way. Now, for those who have not seen it, there are spoilers, of course. I'm going to be spoiling all my reviews. So if you don't want to know about, I'm already on episode three, done with episode three. So if you don't want to hear about it, please wait till next week or after you've seen the episode, anyways. But in any case, season three so far, I will say this: the first season was really good, great. I actually enjoyed the show and I actually watched it, and I watched it maybe in sort of a repeat sort of angle, basically in some episodes, basically, which was great. Season two, it wasn't as the same as season one. It wasn't as great as season one, but it was still good enough. Put it that way. And the fact is like you had Tina Fey in there, playing the aspect of like the murderer, and it threw me off completely as well. Too, quite honestly, I didn't really see that happening until maybe the last two episodes. And so I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be Tina Fey. Um, Now, season three, the way it starts off, of course, if you saw season two, the cliffhanger was uh, Paul Rudd is in the show, and of course he ends up dying, leaving off the cliffhanger. But in spoiler alert, season one turns out he's not dead; he's alive. But it turns out that he might have been poisoned, and they're trying to figure out who's poisoning him. The one thing I see so far with season three, so far up to episode three, is they're throwing a lot of celebrities at this right now. I mean, you have like of course Meryl Streep, which caught me off guard. I'm like, Meryl Streep. I mean, Paul Rudd. Okay, you have an A-list actor with Paul Rudd, but now you have Meryl Streep. I mean, practically the goat for for actresses. Uh, I don't know how many Oscar nominations she's had and Oscar award she has, but it's Meryl Streep basically. And then of course then you've had with Meryl Streep, Ashley Park. You might know her from was it Emily in Paris, the nanny? I had no idea who she was until I saw that basically. Um, oh wait, and of course she was in. Sorry, I'm reading this off a little bit. Anyways, and then of course you have Jesse Williams, who was in Grey's Anatomy, and I think that's where I knew him from, was from Grey's Anatomy. And then of course you had Linda Emond, which I was like, whoa, okay, that's pretty impressive, you know. But in any case, it was more of a situation where seeing Meryl Streep, I'm like, all right, this is a serious A-list actor that's in the movie, in the show. It's like you can't let her talents go to waste. I mean, you already had Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez, but now to have Meryl Streep as a special guest star, you're hoping that the character development develops, because I'll be blunt, on the first two episodes, I sort of fell asleep on both of them basically in the middle of each one, to the point where like I had to wake up and like watch it again, like, or wait the next day and watch it again, and then maybe fell asleep a little bit again as well too, until I finally was able to watch the first two episodes. Even in episode three, in the beginning, I just fell asleep. I'm like, whoa. But then towards the end, I actually woke up. It's more of a case because it wasn't of how the episode three ended, but it was more of a case of like seeing Meryl Streep's full versatility. I'd forgotten that she can sing, and you're seeing how well she sang. To the point, I mean, like if you've seen Mamma Mia, of course, she did sing in that one, and other movies and Broadway musicals that she's done. I just forgot what her range was essentially. I'm like, oh, okay, this caught me off guard. Um, and at the same time, it was one of those things where seeing as how this season is starting off, something seems off with Selena Gomez and her acting. I don't care about the physical appearance. People are saying she gained weight. It doesn't really matter there. It's just more of the acting. It seems a little bit more drier, more bland than season one and season two. I don't know if that's the character, the way it's supposed to be. It's possible. But in this situation, season three, it seems a little bit more bland. Um, Not as funny and quirky as it was in season one. And, Martin Short and Steve Martin's dynamic with her and interaction with her, it also seems off a little bit as well too. It's like it doesn't have the same magic it had with season one, and season two had some of it as well too. But season one had that magic of all those three interacting with each other, and like season three, you don't see it as much. Um, and Meryl Streep's character for the first two episodes, it felt a little bit diminished, to say the least. But then I think in season three, it's picking up. So I'm hoping in the rest of the season, in the next episode, it starts picking up even more, where all the characters start becoming more vibrant, but not only vibrant, but more of like gelling with each other, to the point where like they start playing up to their talents, put it that way, to their acting prowess. Now I've heard and read, of course, that there are also going to be two other guest stars, Matthew Broderick and the great legendary Mel Brooks. Now I'm hoping those two with their roles, it's not diminished as well too. It plays up to their roles. Maybe if they're playing themselves, that's great. I doubt it. Maybe Mel Brooks will be playing his role basically as Mel Brooks, basically, and him being who he is. Broadway, great producer, that he can do what, come in as himself basically, and like, play up to his hype. Matthew Broderick probably playing as himself, but most likely playing as another replacement actor to Paul Rudd, which, spoiler alert, after episode three, or after episode two, sorry, after episode two, Rudd dies. His character dies, of course, and they're trying to solve the murder for that. Now, initially, my initial get go was, all right. It seems like the show was gearing and pointing towards Meryl Streep, but if that's the case, based on the first two episodes, I think that's probably a misdirection. And at the end of episode three, I think they were trying to push it towards maybe it might be Ashley Park, which I doubt that's going to be the case as well too. My feeling is it might be maybe the brother, most likely, more than anything else. I have a feeling it might be the brother. If not the brother, then maybe Jesse Williams himself. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those two. But seeing as how I think the show's trying to change the dynamic and change, not the dynamic, but more of the awe factor, adding a new awe factor, I can possibly seeing Linda Amand, that character, being the one that is the murderer. Or maybe the character that plays the son, Wesley Taylor. Maybe him. Uh, I don't know right now. My initial gut's telling me right now it's probably going to be the brother at this point. The brother. But I'll have to wait and see. Um, and then, of course, if it's based on like season one, where, uh, um, Martin Short's love interest might be the one, because of, like, in season one, Steve Martin's love interest was the killer. This could be the case with Martin Short's love interest being Meryl Streep. She might be the one as well too. That kid killed him. Uh, but I think that's been played out in season one, so I have a feeling it might be basically Only Murders in the Building has a tendency to try to shock you with, okay, you did not foresee this person being the one that killed him. So for all we know, it could be the case where it might not be any of these characters just yet. The character that needs to be introduced later might be the one. So that's what I'm waiting to see for episode 4 and episode 5. Episode 4, most likely episode 5, we'll probably get a feel of all the main players at that point of who's responsible for the death. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Right now, like I said, it's like I'm hoping the season picks up. I'm hoping it doesn't fall into the same trap as episode 1 and 2 is. If it is, I might just stop. If there's a season 4, I think it's depending on season 3, basically. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Please let me know your, leave a comment in the comments section. I do read all my comments. I do respond to them when they warrant a response, and I do get notified when I get notified about them as well too. But let me know your thoughts. Who do you think? Who do you think who done it? Who's the murderer or murderers? Because I could be two people that could be responsible. It could be the brother and Jesse Williams' character, or it could be the brother and the could be the brother and Meryl Streep. They might be lovers, or it could be the producer and her son, quote unquote son, or it could be the son. I don't know. It's hard to say, but we'll see. With that, I'll leave it at that. If you like my content, like my videos, like my channel, then please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you've subscribed already, thank you for it. I welcome feedback into my videos. Most of, if anything about my reviews, movie reviews and TV show reviews, if you feel like my feedback could be, I'll appreciate the feedback. If you feel like I should do more, add some more into it, I'll gladly do so. I just need to know the feedback because I'm trying to grow and make this a better channel and interact with everyone at this point as well too. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unedited and unrehearsed. Until next time.